Hello and welcome to COVID Conversations. We know you have many questions, and it's our goal to provide clarity and understanding during this unique and challenging time in our world. Today, you will hear from one of our campus leaders as they provide answers to some of the more frequently asked questions submitted by our campus community. Your questions and feedback are important to us, and I hope you will find this content valuable and informative. We appreciate your concerns, and we're thankful for your continued commitment to the capstone. We are all tied together, and together we will ensure our campus is a safe and welcoming environment for everyone this fall.
My name is Myron Pope, and I serve as the Vice President for Student Life at the University of Alabama. We're excited about students returning to campus for this fall. As always, we value the importance of campus life. What we see is a little bit of a different change in many of the things that we will be doing, but the priority is still the same. We want to make sure that they have an opportunity to be engaged and receive the services and support that they need to be successful. We're encouraging our students as much as possible to engage in activities from a social perspective virtually. That way they are saved. If they are face-to-face, what we will do is make sure that they are socially distanced. And we're doing quite a bit of education for them that will provide them opportunities to learn how to be safe in these environments. Certainly, the thing that is most prominent for us right now is the importance of health and safety for all, certainly our students. As we move forward, we will continue to educate them about ways in which they can be safe, while at the same time maintain the integrity of the programs that we have in place. As our students return to campus, they will have a chance to learn more about ways in which they can keep themselves safe. We want to promote as much as possible the importance of social distancing. We want to promote to them the importance of utilizing PPEs. And even more than that, we want to make sure that they're taking care of themselves in terms of washing their hands and just keeping their environment safe. These are all things that we will talk to them about as they arrive to campus, and we will have signage as well as other reminders throughout the semester just to make sure that they are safe. Greek life at the University of Alabama is very unique. We by far, not only in terms of number, but also in quality, it's a phenomenal program and it's very unique, and we want to maintain that level of tradition that we've had in the past. Along with that, we want to make sure that we promote health and safety. The program is significantly different than the way we've done it in the past. What we see is that we want to promote as much as possible the opportunity for these young ladies to come in and engage with one another virtually. Many of the larger events that we've had in the past up front will now be from a virtual perspective. As we move forward throughout the rest of the program, that will be the same case. The modality will be a virtual environment. Later on in the process, if there are some small group meetings with the ladies as they get further in the recruitment process, they'll have a chance to engage with one another in an environment where they can socially distance with no more than 20-25 people in the room at the same time. So health and safety are again at the forefront of everything that we're thinking about, and certainly with this program, it's a great traditional program. It's one that stands out for us as nationally, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we promote health and safety. It's still early. We are, again, another one of the things that is prominent about this university is our athletics programs. And at this point, we don't know a lot of details about what that's going to look like. We continue to look to the NCAA, the SEC, and the CDC for guidance, but at this point in time, it's still early. And we continue to see some of the things that are happening around the country, and we're utilizing that information as we make a final decision. Last year, we had about 8,400 students who lived on campus. As of just this past week, we had about 8,300 who've signed up so far. So the environment is going to be very much the same, but again, we're certainly promoting health and safety throughout. We want to make sure that we continue to talk to our students about how to, again, socially distance, utilize their PPEs, and even beyond that, make sure that they sanitize their respective areas. We learned a lot as students left campus in the spring about staggering the move-out process. We will stagger the move-in process in very much the same way. Typically, the move-in process is a 4-day program, but this year is going to be much longer to give us a chance to allow people to move in that staggered manner. As they come back in, they will be limited in the number of individuals who can come with them. We will only allow 2 people to come in with them. And beyond that, we will make sure that our staff will go throughout the entire environment to go behind everyone to make sure that they clean up, sanitize as much as possible. Throughout the year, we're going to cut down on common spaces throughout the residence halls, and even with common areas where there is going to be some seating, we will encourage students to utilize social distancing as much as possible. We feel like through those methods, we will be able to keep everyone safe, and certainly it starts with the move-in process where we will stagger that process. We feel like we have a very sound plan in terms of isolation and quarantining of students who test positive. If a student tests positive, the first thing that we will do is make sure that we check with their roommate and make sure that they're both isolated in place to be able to ensure the safety of the rest of the university community. From there, we will make sure that they have all the resources that they need in terms of food, academic support, as well as medical support during this period of time. Also, we will make sure that we check with other places that these students have been across campus, in classrooms, and their student organizations to make sure that no one else is experiencing any symptoms that will give us an indicator that we need to isolate them also. So as we move forward, we feel like we have a very sound plan, and we continue to connect with various entities to update it as much as possible. But isolation and quarantine spaces are certainly a strategy that we will use when we have a situation like that. All students, especially those who are living off campus, are going to be educated about what the expectations are related to remaining safe. As we move forward, if a student determines that they have tested positive and they live off campus, we'll expect them to isolate in place. We will be in communication with them to provide them with the support that they need in terms of academic support as it relates to student services, as well as the support in terms of medical support. But at the same time, they should remain in place until they are healthy again. After that, we will bring them back into the university population. If there is a situation where someone does not abide by that, we have a progressive disciplinary program in place to ensure that we encourage them not to violate the expectations that the university has set forth in terms of health and safety. We will have our dining halls open this fall. Certainly the environment will be a little bit different than we've seen in the past. Our staff will be utilizing PPEs. There will be social distancing in terms of the setup in the residence halls and in the dining halls. The other thing that we will see is that we will provide options whereby people will be able to grab and go, so to speak. They will be able to grab a meal and take it back to their residence hall or to another environment. The priority for us, again, is health and safety of all, and we want to protect all from congregating in a very large area. And what we see is that with our residence halls and their dining areas, as well as other dining areas, we've had a setup whereby many people will congregate, and we're trying to limit that as much as possible. The staff will also utilize sanitation methods to go behind those individuals who are sitting in the dining areas, make sure that it's cleaned up so that we will ensure the safety of those particular areas. With many of our academic support services, as well as general student services, we know that these are great resources for our students in terms of their ability to be successful here. We want to provide those opportunities in a virtual environment as much as possible. That's going to be our first priority. Students can certainly call into these offices, and we've also provided resources such as telecounseling and telehealth if students don't feel secure, or again, as a priority as opposed to coming into the office. We've also made sure that inside of the offices, we've created an environment where students are able to social distance while they're sitting there. We've installed plexiglass in various places to ensure the highest level of safety, while at the same time we will make sure that once they go into one-on-one situations that social distancing is as well as masking using facial coverings is a top priority. But at the end of the day, we will make sure that students have the same level of services that they've experienced in the past. We continue to look at best practices as to how to best open the rec center. It is currently open, but the hours have been minimized to 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on a daily basis. Our staff is fully trained and they were utilizing many of these strategies in the past, and we certainly have enhanced those strategies to make sure that the workout areas are safe and clean, sanitized, warmly sanitized. In addition to that, our staff is encouraging people to keep their distance while inside of the rec center. As it pertains to rec sports, we continue to look at best practices, and we'll come back with further information in the future on what that will look like. When I arrived on the campus in the spring, we were already engaged in planning for this coming fall, a return to full operations. I believe that we have utilized a great deal of information from the CDC. We've received direction from the University of Alabama system and so many other places that we feel like we are in a sound place as we move forward. We want to, again, provide the same level of service, academic experience, etc., for our students that we've provided in the past. However, we also know that things are a little bit different. The Division of Student Life is committed to promoting student success and, more than anything, learning experiences outside the classroom. My personal experience has been that student engagement is so very important, and we've had to really rethink how we do that. And we feel like we have done a phenomenal job to ensure the highest level of safety for all. Obviously, again, that doesn't remove all risk. We want to make sure that as we come into the environment, that if something happens, we have a plan to move forward. And I feel like we have a very sound plan as it relates to isolation and quarantine, as well as support and support and services for students as they bring to situations where they may end up testing positive. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that students will have an opportunity to continue their educational experience here in a safe and healthy environment. And I feel like with our planning, we've done a really good job of preparing for that for the fall semester.